Jamaica to get maritime equipment from Japan, commits to the transformation of the ACP grouping, and the Diaspora urged to boost economic ties with their resident countries. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is now back on the island after successful visits to Kenya and Japan this past week. On his first assignment, Mr. Holness left the island on December 6 for Nairobi, Kenya. He was in the African country for the 9th summit of the African, Caribbean and Pacific ACP group of states. At the December 9 and 10 summit, Jamaica and the other 78 members revised its constitutive act, the Georgetown Agreement, and finalized its position on the post-Cotonou negotiations with the European Union. ACP members also agreed to transform the grouping into an international body to be known as the Organization of the ACP States, OACPS. In his address at the summit, Mr. Holness urged members to deepen their use and support of multilateralism. The Prime Minister reasoned that the multilateral system is an important tool in tackling the myriad of challenges ACP countries face. Mr. Holness also asserted that multilateralism was the only system which allows small and large countries to have an equal voice on the world stage.
We will be relying on a fit-for-purpose ACP Secretariat, capable of operating in a technology-driven, gender-sensitive global context. Our Secretariat must produce at levels comparable to other international organizations, consistent with best practices, financially secure and viable. We commit to making multilateralism work at all levels in the new OACPS and in the interest of development for all our peoples.
And ahead of the main summit, Prime Minister Holness addressed an ACP business conference on December 9. He called on member countries, particularly those in Africa, to consider taking up investment opportunities in Jamaica. These include energy, infrastructure, technology, and finance. He gave a similar charge to the Jamaican diaspora living in Kenya.
Call up your family in Jamaica, your friends in Jamaica, your business people in Jamaica, to say, hey, there are opportunities for investment and trade in Kenya. Come and see what is in Kenya. And for you as well here to say to Kenyan businessmen, hey, there are opportunities in Jamaica. Go and see what is happening in Jamaica.
Mr. Holness used his time in Kenya to hold bilateral talks with President Uhuru Kenyatta. Discussions centered on deepening economic and social ties.
For over 5 decades, Japan has been a major partner and genuine friend to Jamaica. Japan has consistently demonstrated its friendship to Jamaica in numerous ways, including through technical and economic programs and volunteer missions in diverse areas. We are deeply grateful for these contributions to our national development efforts.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness during Thursday's joint press conference with his Japanese counterpart, Shinzo Abe. Mr. Holness was in Japan for a 3-day official working visit, which coincides with the 55th year since the establishment of Jamaica-Japan diplomatic relations. Following bilateral talks, Jamaica and Japan signed an agreement which will see Japan providing Jamaica with maritime patrol vessels. The vessels are expected to significantly enhance Jamaica's maritime security and disaster response capabilities. Trade and investment opportunities in both countries were also enhanced with the signing of a Jamaica-Japan tax convention.
Prime Minister Abe, I welcome your call for more robust action on climate change, as well as your pledges towards the replenishment of the Green Climate Fund, and I encourage others to follow your sterling example.
And in that vein, Mr. Holness toured an incineration plant in Tokyo. While in the Asian country, the Prime Minister had dinner with the Prince and Princess of Japan. He held talks with Governor Shinji Hirai and met several heads of agencies. They include the Japan International Cooperation Agency, Japan Olympic Committee, Japan's main base for the wide area disaster management, as well as the Ministries of Economy and Defense. Mr. Holness also met with Marubeni Corporation and the Association of Japanese Importers of Jamaican Coffee. Prime Minister Holness closed out his engagements in Japan by meeting with the Jamaican diaspora. As he updated the gathering on developments in Jamaica, he urged them to assist in sharing information on Japan's high-tech waste management system that may be replicated on the island. Mr. Holness also shared government's temporary amendment to the Noise Abatement Act, which would allow social events to go up to 2 a.m. during the week and 4 a.m. on weekends.
We want Jamaicans to be able to enjoy their culture, to consume it, to produce it, to be able to create value from it. And so what we're doing is to give the legal space within our culture will be able to flourish. That's what we want to do. But at the same time, we want those who feel that they don't want to be disturbed, they want to be able to sleep in peace and enjoy their property and their peace of mind, that they should also be able to do it.
Back in Jamaica Sunday, Mr. Holness held his annual Christmas treat for children. Scores of boys and girls from corporate area children's homes scattered the lawns of Jamaica House for a day of fun. And later in the evening, they went home with gifts from Prime Minister Holness and his wife, Juliet. The Prime Minister also extended congratulations to 23-year-old St. Thomas-born Tony and Singh, who was on Saturday crowned Miss World. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.